So, after Trump's win, his election denial movement marches on. So let's go ahead and look into this. Since winning the 2024 election, President-elect Donald Trump has gone quiet on his false claims over voter fraud. But the election denial movement he spawned isn't going away and appears to be strengthening in some areas of the country. Well, obviously, we know that that's going to happen because Trump's a grifter and he has a cult following, and even when they've been proven wrong, they still hold true that they're on some level correct. So yeah. A faction of the local and national Republican officials who amplified Trump's claims of a rigged 2020 election say they will keep pushing for stark changes to how Americans vote. Wait, where was I? Ahead of the 2026 midterm elections. In interviews, they said they are responding to legitimate concerns about election integrity and suggesting appropriate reforms. Bullshit. There is no election integrity issues. If anything, y'all are the ones committing, election issues. Okay, so I'll go out and say that all the liberals out there that are saying that this election was stolen, no, it wasn't. We definitely, it was definitely fair and square. Trump won the popular vote and he won the electoral college. He definitely, the election was not stolen. I will, however, grant that in terms of violence and voter suppression and voter intimidation and election fraud, that is a lot happening on the right. Let's not forget about the fact that on election night, there were multiple bomb threats called into Georgia in majority black areas, essentially scaring away potential votes. And in these areas, these could have potentially turned some cities more blue in some of these areas. Because remember, how many of these people didn't just go to another voting booth? Maybe some of these people were working, and their job was like right across the street from the voting booth, or it was like a 10-minute walk from there, and they're on their lunch. Maybe they have a half-hour lunch, maybe they have a full-hour lunch. They go down there, they're trying to get their vote in. They get a bomb threat called out. Now they have to leave. Oh shit, their lunch is over. They have to go back. They never had a chance to actually cast their ballot. And wouldn't you know it, it is the last day that an election can happen, or that a vote can be cast. So what happens now? Well, their vote does not get counted. Now you never know. Maybe that vote could have predominantly gone towards Trump, or maybe that all could have been, considering they were majority black areas. Black people tend to break for the Democrats a lot more than the Republicans. So you could have essentially ended up in a situation where Democratic votes were essentially prevented from being casted. Now, in terms of whether or not that is enough, whether or not there were enough votes prevented from being casted to sway the election in Trump's favor, I don't think so. Because if we actually look at the election count, let me bring the map back up. Election results. Remember, where is it? I know it was here. Remember, right, here we are. Kamala Harris had 74.45 million votes. Donald Trump had 76.9 million votes from the American people. And so therefore, in order for Kamala to be ahead on the popular vote, she would have needed all of these third-party votes plus whatever would have been left over for her to win the popular vote. And even then, it would... yeah, that's true. Especially this election, I heard the Latino vote doubled in Trump's favor. But yeah, and it's like... so it's like you would need however many. And even then, those extra votes would need to be in the right swing states. Like... Remember, Trump got Trump basically just swept the board every single swing state: Georgia, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Arizona, Nevada, and where was the other one? There were 7 swing states. Where's the other? Unless one of them actually. Where were the swing states? Earth was Oh, here we go. So Arizona, Florida, right? Florida was also. I don't think Florida. I don't think we can really count Florida as a swing state anymore. They have their crap so badly rigged these days and gerrymandered that I don't know how, like, if a. Yeah, like, I don't even know, like. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, so Florida was the state I was missing. Did I misidentify a state as a swing state? Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Nevada, North Carolina. So I must have. Which one did I misidentify? Georgia? No, Georgia's on there. So Georgia, Pennsylvania, Michigan, right? Yeah. These are all swing states. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, either way, so you have the fact that regardless of whether or not the votes that I mentioned that were prevented from yeah, that's true. Basically a lot of the case is even if those votes were not prevented from being cast, there would still have to be enough of those votes and in the right states because of our electoral college system that it probably wouldn't make a difference. So even though in our current electoral system, even if there was a lot of election interference, it would not have made a difference. Because remember, Donald Trump lost the popular vote multiple times and still won the presidency once out of those 2 times that he lost the popular vote. However, this time it's just not the case. The American people chose Trump fair and square. Election officials and voting rights advocates see a different aim. Oh, come on, content review. Thank you. See a different aim to cement electoral advantages for Republicans with new rules that would make it harder for some voters to cast ballots and to lay the groundwork for discrediting the results of future elections if their preferred candidates lose. The election denial movement has been evolving. Oh yeah, and let's not forget the fuck, what was I saying? Let's not forget the fact that in a lot of these states he casted not he a lot of the states have engaged or enacted voter so-called voter reform laws in order to make it more difficult to vote. Hundreds of thousands of voters were purged from ballots in order to, some of them were dead. A lot of them just haven't voted in several years. But a lot of people that were purged were actually completely, valid for, completely eligible to vote. So, yeah. Let's see. Here we go. But anyway, so. Alright, that problem is resolved. So anyway, yeah, so. Fuck, I forgot what I was doing. Yeah, so A senior vice president at States United Action, a group that tanks candidates who attack the credibility of U.S. elections. As a result, she added, the movement has held on to power and influence. The movement's agenda focuses on many of the debunked claims of voter fraud that Trump and his allies advanced after his failed 2020 re-election bid. These include requiring voters to show proof of citizenship, despite scant evidence of significant voting by illegal immigrants, and restricting mail-in voting and ballot drop boxes, neither of which have been linked to systemic fraud. So, so what I want to know is, why is it that that now that Trump won the election, he has like nothing to say about it? Like, I still have yet to see. I mean, America is pretty polarized politically. So many people had to break up with their partners because they voted Trump like the day after. Yeah, that's true. Like, I like, even my own sister, who knows how a Trump presidency would affect me. She did not actually, like, she didn't vote for him, to my knowledge. I don't even know if she voted at all. Her and I, we don't really talk. But what I do know is what my mother told me she said to her when my mother called her venting about it, and that she basically told her that she was overreacting. It's not going to be that bad because Amendment 1 passed in New York, which guaranteed protected status to basically all disenfranchised groups, well, most disenfranchised groups here. So it's like, but at the same time, I can't disown my sister. I already did that. You can't disown someone twice. So, but anyway, yeah, it's just, we're in really really trying times. Like, I just can't believe that it's just crazy. Let's see. And of course, the Democratic Party is blaming it on the wokesters. So let's see what that's about. Let's see. Wait, oh no, gotta turn on the...
Of the younger progressive staffers.
By the way, trigger warning, this is from Fox News, so if Fox News makes your ears bleed, this is the perfect time for you to go to the bathroom. It'll take about 5 minutes, so you might want to make sure you go take a shit. I'll still be here, don't worry.
I'm a liar and a fraud.
Going on Joe Rogan's show, and a lot of the younger progressive staffers pitched a hissy fit. Supposedly the campaign said that wasn't the determining factor, but they did. When you put a campaign together and you hire young people to do work, let me tell you exactly what you tell these people, what I would tell them. Not only am I not interested in your opinion, I'm not even going to call you by your name.
Joining us now, Juan Williams, Fox News senior political analyst, and you're laughing at Carville, but there's a lot of, you can't, you have to, a lot of media hand-wringing going on about why the Democrats lost, and Carville is among those saying party is just too woke.
Right, so the question is, are identity politics now to blame for the Democrats' demise? Now,
So I will actually tell you straight up right now, it is definitely not identity politics. So the one thing that they blew out of proportion was the fact that Kamala Harris at one point in the past said that she would provide prisoners gender-affirming care. That is basically the one thing that they said. She never once spoke up about transgender rights. It would have been nice. It would have been nice because, like, she's obviously very much a liberal. That's one of the reasons that she was willing to toe the right-wing line. Remember, liberals are center at best. Like, the furthest left you can be as a liberal is Bernie Sanders. That, like, basically your standard run-of-the-mill Democrat. Like your social democrat, I mean, like nothing too exciting, you know what I mean? So, like, we're not talking about worker ownership of the means of production. We're not talking about decommodified housing and healthcare. No, just a standard run-of-the-mill Democrat, and it's and you're not really going to get much from that. So if the furthest left you can get from liberals is Bernie Sanders, then it just shows that there's nothing really that's good for the country. But at least Bernie Sanders had the balls to speak up and defend transgender issues. So I promise you, it's definitely not the wokesters that killed Kamala Harris's campaign. She went to the right on immigration. So we're not gonna engage in mass deportations, but we're still gonna ruin lives. That was Kamala Harris's whole thing. It was very sad. I would have loved to see the world pull her to the left on immigration, on Palestine. I would have loved to see all this stuff, but if you're gonna get a diet liar and a full-on liar, people rather go for the full liar. So, all right, let's continue.
Let me just say, let's put this in context. Democrats have won most of the popular votes in presidential elections going back to the Clinton years.
But not this time.
Not this time. But again, there's a line of a narrative coming from the Trump people who says, oh, he won a mandate. He won an overwhelming election. And in fact, he didn't even win the majority, just under the majority, 50%. So he won a plurality. And, you stop and think about.
Wait a minute. Is that true? I thought he won a majority. Wait, hang on a minute. Yeah. Oh, no. He won 50% of the vote. Huh. And that's 94% of expected vote. So it could either turn into majority or it could fall back down to plurality. But yeah. But yeah, so, so I guess since he is at 50%, he technically doesn't have a majority vote. So this is more like a, plurality. So yeah. Oh, nope. Get out of there. Party of wokeness. The wokesters.
The Democrats are not exactly, out of the game. They're still a legitimate party, but
they have no power in Washington, Juan.
Right, but that's right. That's the key point.
I have quite a few viewers this stream. If you're enjoying the stream, feel free to subscribe to my Discord. I also subscribe to my Twitch. Also check out my YouTube channel and join my Discord. I hope to form a nice community there. And thank you for watching my stream.
That they won the House, the Republicans won the House, Senate, and White House. But they are not, in fact, like a goner. It's not like you're saying, oh, we don't know how the Democrats reconstitute. What they are is a party in disarray, and I think that they are dispirited. Clearly, the level of resistance we saw after the 2016 victory by Donald Trump is not being matched this time. It looks like.
Oh yeah, let's talk about the 2016 victory. So let's go back. I wanna talk about the 2016 election. Who went up against who in the Democratic primary? It was a bunch of nobodies, and then it was Hillary Clinton, a center right-wing centrist, I'm gonna do World War III, create a no-fly zone in Syria, Democrat, conservative Democrat, and then it was a left-wing candidate by the name of Bernie Sanders, social democrat, very left-wing, not, like I said, not socialist, so he doesn't want to decommodify healthcare and housing and all that. He doesn't want to do, worker-owned means of production or anything of that nature. But he does want to do, Medicare for all. He wanted to raise your wages. He wants to get better benefits, support unionizing, all these left-wing policies. And what did the Democrats do? They fucked him. And they didn't fuck him with lube. They or even a fucking anything pleasant. They used a fucking a metal rod with that was bright red, steaming with spikes, and by the time they were done, he was bleeding out of his ass. That's how bad they fucked him. So yeah, it's like, so while the Democrats are busy moving to the right over the last few years, and even so much so as throwing trans people under the damn bus, they're going on to Fox News saying that the Democratic Party is too woke. Are you fucking blind? Like, oh my goodness. Like, no. We're not moving to the left. We're moving to the right. You want to, no, we need to move the party to the left. We need, at least, if we can't have someone from, the DSA run, then we at least need fucking Bernie. But he's too old. He's going to check out soon. So maybe someone younger. I guess AOC is flirting with a run. I don't know. But if that's the case, I might add that as, a little thing. Let me see if that's in here real quick. AOC running for president. AOC is running for president. AOC for Pres talk begins again. AOC for president hype started 3 weeks after she first took office in 2019. Let's see. Nothing can be said for certain except death, taxes, and now speculation about AOC running for for president. The latest round comes courtesy of Black Friday, story in The Hill about contenders for the Democratic nomination in 2028. Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was thrown in as the 11th and last name, a fun little ticker. Let me minimize here now. Let's see, where was I? Our fun little kicker. So, she's somebody who can cut through the noise and doesn't talk like Washington, an anonymous Democratic strategist told The Hill. So it shows here that apparently she's beginning talking about running for the president, and whether or not she's actually able to, because I know we actually have a limit for you have to be 35. So I'm actually very curious how old she actually is. Let me scroll all the way down my chat. All right. AOC age. Oh, she's ready. Yeah, she's ready. She's 35. There's nothing they can say now. Okay, she is ready. President Cortez. All right. So yeah, if she runs for president, she has my vote.
They are at sea.
Dispirited. They need therapy, many of them. But look, it's not like Kamala Harris going on Joe Rogan's podcast would have been some magic bullet. But the fact that she backed out in part because progressive staffers on her team objected, doesn't that sort of crystallize the problem?
Yeah, I think it does, because I think it would have been wise to go on Joe Rogan's show, because it would have appealed to those white males that Donald Trump was directly trying to stir in terms of low proclivity voters to get them out, and they came out for Donald Trump. And I would add here,
I also would have been interested in seeing her go on Joe Rogan's show, because on the fact that she said nothing about transgender issues for the past for her campaign, I feel like she would be more mask off in terms of things like that, because she would have that kind of right-wing push from Joe Rogan, who would basically be telling her that asking her about transgender children and bottom surgeries against minors and sports. Oh, we love talking about sports. Whether or not that's actually going to be anything that would have benefited her, I don't know. In my personal opinion, I would have loved to see that, to see if whether or not she actually stood behind, trans issues, or if she was, or if she's avoiding talking about us because she just, doesn't feel the way she does. But there you have it. So after Trump's win, they're still trying to to say that the election was stolen. They're also, they're also going on in regards to saying the Democratic Party was too woke. But then again, it's Fox fucking News, so how are you shocked? And also, I got trolled in my Discord chat today with someone literally spamming an ass covered in shit. So I'm glad that I was not screen sharing when that happened. Otherwise, it would have been horrifying for you guys to see. That is all cleaned up, and so thank you for bearing with me with that. So if you want to join my Discord now, you need to be verified in order to be able to talk in my community, and so therefore you can be sure that you're not going to ever encounter that. So we are now safe. So feel free to join my Discord's community. I will keep a close eye on traffic coming in from now on. And thank you for being part of my community. You can go ahead and watch my YouTube show. You can follow me on Patreon. You can support the show that way. And also, thank you for being an amazing person. You are so beautiful. Don't ever stop being you. And also, now that I finished buttering you up and making you feel like all good and everything, have a good day. Bye.
I've heard bad things, terrible things about the Queen Matriarch. She wants to radicalize your kids into communism and give people healthcare and free lunch. It's terrible. So definitely do not watch her show. Her politics are bad, the worst you've ever heard. So definitely do not subscribe to her on YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, or follow her on Blue Sky or X, or join her Discord server, or fund her Patreon. Links in the description below.